Welcome to Professor Reviews, a series where we pair professors and experts in the field with video games. By now, we have all played or seen gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2, and for the few that haven't, this Western action game is set in a fictionalized version of the Western United States in the year 1899. It's full of horse riding, hunting, gunfights, and breathtaking sights. But what if we take a closer look at a few of the geological features in Red Dead 2? Not only are we here to do that, but we're here with the help of professor and geologist Genevieve Sparks.
I have worked about 32 years in public and private industry as a geologist or scientist. I have a bachelor's of science degree from UC Davis and then a master of science from Sac State. And so I got into teaching. This has been I'm going into my sixth semester.
So I'm sure people out there are familiar with the three main types of rocks. Let's see, igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Yeah. So are all geological structures based off of one of those three?
Or a combination.
Yeah.
Well, on the map you were, for the town, you were in a low-lying area. The contour lines were kind of wide apart, so
right.
It tells me you've got mountains on everywhere that seems to be in the horizon.
Yeah.
So you're in a relatively low-lying area that's prone to flooding, and weathering and erosions occurring on those mountains over time. Rain or storm events is bringing that sediment down into the low-lying areas and creating this this kind of rock formation here, sedimentary rock.
Maybe if we stop right here and just look around.
So some of the things we would look at are to see if there's some folding, some bedding. You've got some here, but for that particular outcrop, this is an outcrop of rock. It looks like you've got some sedimentary rock. It's a little interesting because striations on the rock are not just horizontal to the earth, but they look like they're also vertical, and that might be more what's called jointing. But then you've got also some of these crevices in the rocks that are kind of parallel right here. Yeah. That could be faulting. Without going up to it with a hammer, it would be really hard to understand. But you can see where the weathering has occurred on the rock, and then it's eroded. The sediment has eroded down on these broken up rocks. So another indication of rock type is the type of trees you have, what vegetation is here.
Oh, okay.
Because certain types of vegetation like certain types of rock. And you can see these boulders that are hanging out here as you're going through. Yeah. That's all stuff those are all chunks of rock that have been weathered from the top of a nearby mountain.
So it like fell off?
From the very top, and then it rolled down during a storm.
Oh, okay.
It eroded.
So you think the developers they had some knowledge basically to put those there.
They wanted to look really pretty.
Yeah, they wanted to look really pretty, exactly.
They might have gone up to the Sierra Nevada or the Appalachian Mountains or something and seen that effect. If you look that way, see there's the bedding right there.
Yeah.
Now that could be, if you went and investigated that could actually be
Let's go down there.
Sedimentary. It could be volcanic. You'd have to look at it a little carefully. But remember in class we talked about the rule of lateral continuity. When you have a valley, you should expect the same layers on either side. But so notice the sediment is all different sizes.
Yeah.
Boulders, and there's areas that look very dark brown that look like they could be muds or clays there. It's a variety, and it just depends on how much energy is being carried by that.
Yeah.
How much water and how much energy. So you can see, if you scroll in, you can see contour lines. So remember when the contour lines are
closer together,
it's a steeper.
Yeah. And then if
it's further apart, it's a flatter area. And you could have a flatter area at the top of a mountain or at the base of a mountain. But you should find where the river is cutting through, there under the blue, you can see that it's kind of wide. But along the sides is steep. You're getting into snow, so you're getting to pretty high elevation. The precipitation has changed. It's not rain, it's snow now, so that there's still erosion happening, but it's at a much slower
because of
rate.
the weather.
Yeah, and so you're not going to see as many rocks broken up. You know, you will when the water starts flowing, when it turns to liquid.
Right, but now we're just seeing more snow because
and then the clouds above are dark, so that tells you there's some major snow. I'm surprised he's able to run on a slope like that.
Yeah.
It is pretty steep though.
Yeah, Biscuit's a very talented horse.
Yeah. Got rock that can be fluid, right? Moving molten hot across in the earth or on top of the earth. And it can be, if it's below the earth, below the surface, it's magma. On top, it's lava. But they use those terms to distinguish where it is. Is it above or below the earth? That's all it is. It's the same darn molten rock. So the reason we're interested in rocks in terms of mining is some types of rocks hold some types of valuable commodities, some gold or something like that.
Different minerals.
Yeah, different minerals. Yeah, exactly. Remember, minerals are the building blocks of rock. There's algae that's here and it colorizes everything.
Do you think that's boiling?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to go into it though, because you don't really know.
Right.
And it looks like it has a little shelf there, but I wouldn't know if that's really that solid. That white stuff that's accumulated around it looks like that could be salt. This is actually a type of rock called travertine, and people put it in their bathrooms. Travertine, if you go look it up, if you go to Home Depot, what happens is, so you know how you have the layering of the sedimentary rocks?
Right, yeah.
And you have that layering of the metamorphic rock because of the squishing and the heating and pressure, like makes all the minerals line up in a line, just like your fireplace there. This is a type of sedimentary rock that it's an evaporative rock. And so every time that geyser or this particular geyser here comes out, it puts out there's minerals in that steam. Yeah. And it lays down around it in a layer, and it gives it the effect of layers, just like your fireplace.
That's really cool.
And so, and what's interesting is, see, the plants that grow around here are pretty sparse. Yeah. The algae and everything here is very specialized to deal with the high temperature, salty environment like that, and pretty much grasses. So, see all these tombstone headings right there? Yeah. Okay, so those are all rocks, and they came from somewhere local. Oh. So a lot of times they'll be made of granite, be made of limestone or marble. Okay. Marble is a metamorphic rock, and I don't think you have that in this area right now. Gotcha. But you do have some massive granites. The reason that people use whatever was in the area. Okay. Because they would use a wooden cross if they had no rock. If they had it, yeah. Right, if they couldn't get rock. The interest of it is, see how that one right there he's walking by, that whatever was carved into the front of it is eroded.
Oh yeah. So
okay, and it looks kind of eroded versus Mary Keeney in the background there. That's very clear.
Oh yeah, super
So clear. What it is there are some soft rocks that are made of animal shells like marble that erode very fast. Yeah. Under the rain. Yeah, those for this time period, and the structures and the way that they've displayed everything.